everyone! Welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined today by an unusual panel again. We've got Austin, Anthony, and we have a special guest. We have Matt from sonictoast.
Greetings, friends. I'm glad to be here. You can check out my channel, youtube.com/sonictoast. If you're interested in Sonic or Mario stuff, I'm a lifelong Nintendo fan for sure, and Sega.
He's got some really good content over there. Go check him out. sonictoast on YouTube. We're so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me, and really excited to be discussing this stuff tonight with you guys.
And what are we discussing, you might ask? Well, you already saw it probably in the title, but we're talking about video game adaptations. Most likely past and present and future. Because, as we all know, they have not had a very good past in regards to adaptations. There's been some rough ones, some okay ones, and some very bad ones. And some good ones. You can give those credit. I was going to say, but they are getting better, and we've had some good ones. Yes, starting with, well, maybe in my opinion anyway, starting with Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, they had a terrible design at first. They went back, redesigned him, and then it was a lot better.
I forgot about all that.
Yeah. It was,
and my brain erased the horror.
That's good. I'm sorry. Exactly. Sorry to bring that back.
As much as I'd love to credit Sonic, we can't forget Detective Pikachu. Came like a year before that.
It came out like just before it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I did like that part.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm not sure how old or how young you guys are, but did anybody see Super Mario Brothers in the theaters in 1992? When that
I was going to say, which one?
Yeah,
the old school one.
Not in the theater, no.
I was still pretty young at that point, about 3 years old. So
I remember going to see that as a kid, so excited for a Mario movie, and there was probably 8 people in the entire theater. That's not a good sign.
No.
But even then, I loved it because, you know, dark movies like that were aimed at kids back then. And I thought it was funny. I thought it was weird. You know, that was the time where Nickelodeon was new, where, you know, splatting slime all over people was considered comedy, right? And that's what the Mario movie had a bunch of. It had the fungus everywhere. And even though it wasn't like super accurate to the games, like at all, it was something. It was some Mario content, you know? Back in the day when you're a kid and you only get like one video game a year, it was cool to me. I was surprised when all the reviews came out and everyone was hating on it.
I was going to say, what do you think about it now, looking back? Surely you watched it again, right?
Oh, yeah, you know, got the DVD and everything, and I watch it, and I can see the flaws in it for sure. But I remember showing it to my kids for the first time, and they loved it, you know? And I think it gets more hate than it deserves. It's not a perfect movie in any way. It's not a great movie, but it's a fine movie, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
I still have a VHS of Super Mario Bros. I remember begging my mother to get the movie so I could watch it because I was obsessed with Mario Bros. And for me, I loved it growing up just because of the nostalgia factor. I didn't really understand what made a good movie, what made a bad movie. I didn't understand the intricacies of, you know, storytelling and why, you know, like you said, it has its faults, but for what it was worth, I enjoyed it. It had Mario, Luigi in it. You had Toad. It had, you know, Princess Daisy at that point. It had Yoshi, King Koopa. So, I mean, it had all of the, you know, a lot of the characters that they didn't look anything like we expected, but it had them in there.
Well, I guess I have to be the odd man out. I'm one of the haters. Sorry.
But when did you watch it, Anthony? I'm curious. When did you first see it?
I mean, I probably enjoyed it more at that point, although I was very confused why the Goombas were a bunch of small-headed, very tall men, you know. Anyway, I don't... And I thought it was kind of funny how they bent over backwards to explain Mario and Luigi's high jump abilities. But, you know, I guess they were going for a more realistic approach. So, you know, I remember being sufficiently entertained, but not necessarily impressed. And so I'll just be the heathen, right? The heathen over here, being like that might have been the movie I was thinking of as a bad example.
So the new one definitely redeemed it. At least for Anthony and I.
I mean, I think the new movie was simply incredible. I was on the edge of my seat through that whole movie, not so much because of the story, but just because of the visuals and all the Easter eggs hidden like everywhere. All those references were just incredible throughout that film.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed the representation that they gave the Mushroom Kingdom and all the characters. I was also one of those people that I feel like I was a lot more open-minded to the differences specifically in how they voiced Mario. Because I know that kind of got a lot of backlash early on. Mm-hmm. And I've said this a number of times. I feel like the reason why they revealed the cast as early as they did before the movie came out is they needed to give us time to, process and kind of almost like the Wind Waker effect, where everyone hated Wind Waker's style at first, and then they're like, "Oh, this is one of the best Zelda games." So I kind of felt like they were doing something similar. But I thought it was really fun how they represented it. I liked how Mario had a normal voice, because I realized, for all that his normal voice, his usual in-game voice is iconic. I don't think I would have handled, listening to that for an hour and a half. But I don't know. I really enjoyed just how they represented everything and fleshed out the characters. I thought it was a really fun approach.
It's not without its own faults, though, as well. But it was very much enjoyable. I would have rated it a high 9 out of 10, like easily. I really enjoyed that movie, but yeah, it did have its faults.
So do tell.
You got it wrong. No. I will elaborate.
No, you are the odd one out.
Okay, well, for me, I didn't care for Cranky's voice. Maybe it's just me. I felt like it felt very forced. I felt like they didn't do, and forgive me, I don't remember his name, the individual who wrote the music for the new Super Mario Bros. Movie, they didn't do him justice. He had some amazing music written, and what did they do? They replaced it with some pop songs they're great. They're classics. But listening to his music, I was like, this would have fit so perfectly. Why did they get rid of this? So,
is there a way you can listen to the cut songs somewhere?
So on iTunes or any streaming service where they have the entire Super Mario Bros. Original soundtrack, they have all of those pieces that he wrote. So go check it out. Some of the music, like the one I'm specifically thinking of, was the scene where Peach and Toad and Mario are on the back of the cart with the one of the Kongs, and he's driving on a Mario Kart style track. Thank you. And they replaced it with I don't even remember which song. Take on Me. Yeah. And it didn't do it for me. And same with the I Need a Hero. That song should have died with Shrek, because it was perfect in that movie. It was amazing, and no other movie is going to do that song justice. I'm sorry,
except Footloose.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Still, I'm very torn on that, because Take on Me is actually like my favorite song of all time, but at the same time, the Donkey Kong game soundtrack is like my favorite game soundtrack. And so to think that we could have had that, so beautifully orchestrated in the film is definitely a shame that it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Still, such a cool scene. Such a nice throwback to Mario Kart Double Dash.
Absolutely. That was cool. I think another issue I took with it was it felt really rushed. I think it's not like they need to prolong it, but I felt like hour and a half, 90 minutes it just felt very rushed. And they even took out a lot of the clips from the preview that I was really excited to see in the movie, and they were just kind of scooting it along like, okay, next scene.
Hey, how do you guys feel about it? Well, to me, it felt like Luigi and Princess Peach kind of switched roles, where Peach was on the adventure with Mario and Luigi's the damsel in distress. What do you guys think about that?
I do think it would have been nice for them to give him a little bit more airtime. Here's, I guess, the way I'd put it. I liked how they made Peach capable instead of just, this princess who, oh no, I'm so surprised that Bowser came to get me again, kind of thing. I liked how they made her capable, but it did feel maybe a little silly to me that it almost felt like they needed a fall guy to make it work. It would have been cooler, I think, if they'd found a way to just have the whole gang together.
Well, I mean, like the Mario cartoon from like the 80s, was mostly based on Mario 2. So it had Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad, all 4 of them together all the time, going on all these adventures.
Yes.
So throughout this movie, with just the 3 of them without Luigi, it kind of felt like, they just feel so incomplete,
Agreed. We got so little of Luigi. I was going to say the same thing Anthony did. We got so little of Luigi. What I did enjoy was the nod to Luigi's Mansion. So hopefully a Luigi's Mansion adaptation, maybe. But I did miss Luigi a lot. We only saw him, captured by Bowser, and then at the very end, when he's freed and maybe he's fighting alongside Mario all of a sudden, without the training montage for Luigi. Luigi's fine. No training for Luigi.
He's way more capable than anyone else, including if he didn't need any training either.
Which is funny because at the beginning of the movie, Mario is doing all the little. He can jump over things and give Luigi a nice, clear, and easy path to get around the city, and then he's totally fine.
I was just going to say, I feel like Luigi had a lot of charm, and they had to give him some sort of an arc, and we see that at the very end. I know he was kind of, like you said, the damsel in distress, but he also had to learn to overcome the fear and learn that when he and Mario are together, that's when they're unstoppable. And I think in future movies, they're kind of setting that up to kind of give him, a little more screen time, but also show his bravery side.
Well, going back to what you were saying, Steven, and also along the lines of what you were saying, Austin, did you guys see... You guys saw the announcement, of course, from Miyamoto on Mario Day about the new movie that's in production. It's coming out 2026, they said, right?
Yep.
And one thing that everyone is noting, how they didn't directly say it's a Mario 2. They say they're expanding Mario's world. I forget which leaker. One leaker has said that they have a Donkey Kong movie and a Luigi's Mansion movie, both in production right now. And they don't know which of those is going to have that 2026 release date, but it's going to be one of those movies. So that's going to be really exciting. I do wonder how well a Luigi's Mansion movie would work, considering
that's fair.
These have to be family-friendly properties, and like my little niece, she was terrified in that Luigi's Mansion scene of the Mario movie, where he's being chased by dry bones and running into the abandoned castle and stuff. Oh, she was terrified. So I wonder how they're going to adapt Luigi's Mansion to something that's going to be, kid-friendly for kids that are, younger than like 7. Other thing I was wondering about, I was thinking about what Miyamoto had said. He said, where you have this new movie coming up, and he said it's going to be like bright and cheerful or something like that. He said something along those lines, like, maybe it won't be Luigi's Mansion if it's going to be bright and cheerful.
Definitely not Luigi's Mansion. Sounds more like a Donkey Kong thing to me.
Yeah,
I'm happy with either one of those going first. I don't know. I love Donkey Kong. I love me some more Luigi's Mansion. So, and again,
how reliable are these rumors though? Because I want to think that they would probably lean towards doing something with Yoshi, since they kind of teased Yoshi at the very end of the Super Mario movie.
I think they're saving him for the actual, legit sequel to the Mario movie.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So these are just not offshoots, but just side stories.
Yeah, I assume all these. I assume all these are going to be done by the same studio, right? Illumination,
yeah.
I don't see why they would leave them behind after.
I agree. They struck gold, man. They struck gold.
They did awesome.
We also have a Legend of Zelda movie coming up that's live action. I was telling Anthony and I believe Austin that hopefully we'll hear some kind of these are the actors that are going to be playing the characters again, similar to the Mario movie, so we can start to comprehend what we're going to be seeing in the near future.
Yeah, I definitely want them to tell me early, because I'm sitting here full of anxiety over how they're going to approach this. I've had strong opinions about how they would approach a Zelda adaptation, whether movie or cartoons. I mean, first of all, my opinion has always been they need to voice Link. They can't keep him silent. That's my personal opinion. I don't think it would work, especially in a live action. That would be so cringe, and I don't know how they'd even tell a story. But at the same time, I also don't want, excuse me, princess, So,
come on, Ed. No. I want to have a nod. There has to be one line.
Sure.
Just one.
Yeah, they can do a nod. Just make it believable.
They'd have to do that, and they also have to do, Hyrule is so boring.
That'd be awesome. We have to. It's just okay. But yeah, you're right.
A little bit. You know, I could take a little bit, but I just don't want that to be his character. And I think that's one thing that people have been so averse to the idea. The people who say no, never voice Link. I think they're averse to the idea that they would change his character and kind of ruin it. And I think all they need to do is just kind of follow the rubric they've already established, which is, you know, he's soft-spoken, he's
timid.
He's a bit timid, but he's also brave. Like even Breath of the Wild, you know, basically canonized that, you know, a time when Zelda in her diary writes about things that he actually said to her. And I think if they just kind of keep that same style, he doesn't say much, but he's, you know, I think if they just manage to somehow keep that same character, they can voice him just fine and not have it be a problem. But the main thing, however they do it, he cannot be silent, or I'm gonna boycott it.
And you heard it here first.
I don't know.
Boycott it first.
No, I'll probably still go see it, and then I'll just cry if it's terrible.
So would you prefer the classic green tunic Link or like the modern Breath of the Wild style?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think I would probably say green tunic, just because I think it's going to be instantly more of a, you know, a representation of the franchise history. I would love them to, you know, to kind of branch out into stuff like, you know, the Breath of the Wild representations, but I think for at least a first adaptation, I would say probably traditional green tunic.
I just think that they need to have it in there. He needs to have his green tunic at some point. I don't care if like 80% of the movie he's not in the tunic, but if he ends it in that tunic, it's going to be epic. I just think as long as they stick to, like you're saying, to tradition and what we all recognize is Link and his character, I think that would, you know, that would be the best nod to that.
So here's a question. Do you think they're going to make the movie based on an existing story or create a new one? And what would you want?
I think I want a new story. That'd be nice.
I am like 99% sure they would do something new because Miyamoto himself is overseeing this project. And Miyamoto has said that he always prefers to do something new and not retread old ground.
I for one, as long as they do a good job, then, you know, and honestly, I've thought, you know, like if they did do it based on one of the established stories, what I want, I'd probably pick Ocarina of Time, but at the same time, I don't know if they could do that justice either. So I agree. I probably want a new one, but I guess we'll see how good they do. It all comes down, in my opinion, once again, to whether or not they voice Link. And how well.
So I'm hoping that we will see familiar characters. You know, I'm hoping that we'll at least see Ganondorf. Of course, we're going to see Zelda and Link. Maybe some other Easter egg characters thrown in. Who knows? Skull Kid or some other characters. But yes, I think as long as they keep it fresh and they're not trying to do a reiteration or a retelling of a game that they've already done, I think they'll be in good hands. And you know, Miyamoto's at the helm, so yes, we can trust him. It's always good.
So how great would it be if we have Jack Black playing Tingle?
Oh gosh, no.
I want it right now. That would be so fantastic.
I was about to ask about cast. Perfect segue, Matt. Who else do you want to see in the movie? Because that was a good choice. Good job. You're on the roll. Give me another name.
I mean, I think as I haven't really given it a ton of thought as far as the other than Link.
I was going to say
I have strong opinions of what I don't want, you know, for that. But I think the one like fan suggestion that I'm like, I could get behind that was the kid who played Percy in the recent Percy Jackson TV series. I thought he did a good job in that role. I think he could pull off Link, but you know, I guess I don't have any strong opinions other than the ones I've already stated. Just do a good job, and you can use whoever you want, as long as it's not Tom Holland.
I was about to say, don't say that, Ant. They're gonna get Tom Holland. I know. Don't do it.
He's a great actor, and he's got a lot of talent, but I do not want him as Link. Sorry.
How about you, Matt? Do you have any choices for Link?
Oh boy, for Link, huh? I'm trying to think what other young male actors are there besides Tom Holland?
I know.
Like,
You're part of the problem, Matt.
I'm thinking like, who would look good with pointy ears, right?
Yes, sir.
For Ganondorf, I was thinking of John Krasinski from The Office, Jim Halpert.
Oh, John. Interesting.
I feel like he's got a big nose and he's really tall, so
Typecast right there.
that's how you do it, Ganondorf, right?
He does need a big shoe, for sure.
Yeah.
So I was looking at this other list here at upcoming adaptations. Of course, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming out December 20th of this year.
Oh yeah.
That I'm curious to hear what you've thought, not just about the first Sonic movie, but the second one and what you think about this upcoming adaptation as well. Myself, for me, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was like my favorite video game adaptation, at least until the Mario movie came out. But I still hold it super high, on my best adaptations list. What do you think about the Sonic the Hedgehog movies?
I couldn't be happier with the current state of the Sonic movies. When they first announced the first movie, I was hesitant because, they revealed a silhouette of Sonic and he looked weird. Then that trailer came out a few months later and he looked even weirder than he did in that announcement. And honestly, like, everyone I knew was texting me, emailing me, sending me Facebook messages with this trailer, like as if I wouldn't have seen it unless they sent it to me. And it was getting so much hate. I was ready to sweep this movie under the rug already. I'm like, we've had bad Sonic stuff before. We've had bad Sonic games that we just don't talk about. We've had like cartoons like Sonic Underground, which most people don't like to acknowledge. And I also compared it to the Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies, where the turtles were just so ugly, it made the movies hard to enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, we have the old Ninja Turtle movies, we have the old stuff, we can ignore these new ones. And so I was so ready to write off this movie completely. But then when they did that whole 360 with the design, I was so excited. I went and saw the movie, and I admit the Sonic movie is not the best movie ever made. As a matter of fact, it was very generic. It's the same premise we get with a lot of cartoon movies, where a cartoon character goes through a portal and ends up on Earth, right? Yeah. Then they go on a wacky road trip with a human. It's the same movie we've seen 10 or 15 times now.
True.
But it was good enough to where it put Sonic on top of the world and got them what they needed to make a sequel. And just like you, Steven, I hold that sequel in such high regard, because then they were able to actually pull in the characters from the games. They were able to pull in the lore from the games and make something that I feel like is just, it's got to be one of my favorite movies of all time.
And Jim Carrey, like, dude, he's amazing.
Yeah.
No one else for that role. He'll always be my Robotnik now.
I think it's going to be hard for them to top it with this third movie. So happy that Jim Carrey's coming back, because remember after part 2, he said he was retiring.
I know. I thought you were a madman. I was like, no, why?
And the cool thing is, this is the first time Jim Carrey has ever done a part 3 out of all his movie series. So
it must mean he at least enjoys playing the role. I know in the second movie, he said to the director, to someone, I don't remember who it was exactly, but he said he wanted to go like the full-on Robotnik look, where it's like, the big fat belly and the beard and the shaved head, and he didn't quite get there in this second movie. But if they got him on for a third and pulled him out of retirement, maybe he's going to get his way this time. Look, if you come out of retirement and do it one more time, we'll let you do the whole thing.
He went into retirement so he could gain some weight.
Don't do that, please, Jim Carrey. Be healthy, please.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the even in the first movie, he said he wanted to wear a fat suit, but the studio didn't want to pay for the extra time it would take to get him in and out of it every day. But I do have a theory for this new movie, because they have already leaked that he did survive, from the second movie, and that his sidekick, Agent Stone, is the one who's going to find him and nurse him back to health, right? And so I think while he's healing, maybe he's going to be eating a lot and get really fat. In each movie, his appearance does change, so maybe we will finally get that nice egg-shaped Dr. Robotnik.
I love that theory.
And the nickname Eggman. Yeah.
Yes. I was going to jump in and back up a lot of what Matt was saying because, like him, I was ready to boycott this movie to Kingdom Come when they first revealed that character design. I'm just like, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Please don't try to make it realistic. Like, just stick with his character design. It doesn't matter, if it's not realistic, because nobody cares about that. They just want a proper representation.
Yes.
And so I was sitting there expecting the usual to happen. They don't listen to the fans, the movie bombs, and we all forget about it. I was very pleasantly surprised when they're like, okay, we'll delay it. We'll change this. We'll make it right. And I was like, wow, nobody ever does that. It gained my respect immediately. And I'm like, okay, all right, you've put yourself back on the map. I'll wait and see. And then when they revealed his character design and it was just like it should be, I was like, yep, okay, I'm going to go see this movie. Even if it's, not great, I'm going to still go see it. And so I came away really pleased myself. And like you said, Matt, there's a lot of things I would have done differently with the story, but the way that they showed solidarity with the fans and, ended up making a pretty solid movie and then getting us that sequel, which I also agree. I really liked how they expanded and, actually gave us a Sonic story, rather than a Earth with Sonic story. So I'm looking forward to the third one. I would say of basically all of the video game to movie adaptations we've had just in the history of that, not just recently, but Sonic 2 and Mario movie, I hold, basically at the top of the pinnacle. I think they both did excellent jobs. The only thing I would change about Sonic 2 is that extended wedding scene.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
Why did we have that?
We have Shadow coming in with Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Matt, maybe I don't know if anyone's been casted for Shadow yet. Do we know who's been casted for Shadow?
The rumor is Hayden Christensen. We don't know.
Right. Oh,
yeah, nothing is confirmed yet, so we don't actually know who it's going to be. But that's what people are saying. One thing that we do know is that a little girl has been cast to be Maria, if anyone's familiar with Shadow's backstory, which is actually extremely dark.
Yes.
I do wonder how they're going to adapt that into a family-friendly movie.
Agreed.
So my question is, why on Earth, as a soldier going to space to, prevent an Earth-destroying weapon, you see a little girl and you're like, oh, shoot her.
Yeah. That is a major criticism of the story. Yes.
The little girl, she's the one behind all this.
From what I can piece together, it's like, they're just trying to destroy all evidence of this project ever happening. Because she's not the only one who they attack. They also attack all the scientists who are on the Ark.
Gotcha.
They just take everyone down.
I need to go back and replay this game. I played the snot out of it as a kid, but it's been long enough that I don't remember this.
Oh yeah, something else we can talk about is the adaptation of Knuckles. Because Knuckles is getting his own TV show on Paramount Plus. And Idris Elba, dude, his voice. I love his voice so much. I'll be there day one.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to figure out a way to get Paramount Plus access because I'm here for it. I love Idris Elba and I loved his work as Knuckles and some of his other stuff. So yeah, that's going to be a automatic win for me.
I didn't even know this existed.
What? Are you serious? Oh, it's coming out in like a few weeks or something, right?
Yeah, or streaming series. Yeah.
I'm going to find out when it's coming out. It's really soon.
Put it on the map then.
Yeah, it's coming really soon. So personally, I love the way they adapted Knuckles into the second movie. Knuckles is a interesting character because, of course, he did start as a bad guy, a rival for Sonic. Over time, after he became a good guy, Sega really leaned into his gullibility, that he can be tricked into fighting Sonic in every game. And then that somehow got adapted into him just being a complete idiot. And so in like the 2010s, Knuckles was just depicted as this klutz, this moron all the time, always saying stupid things. And it was insulting considering, like I told you, it's like Sonic and Knuckles was my favorite game. It was a little insulting that they had torn this character down so much. But I feel like the movie really brought Knuckles back to his former glory, as he is strong, he is smart, he's also gullible. He's I don't know if I want to say he's a little arrogant, but also a little ignorant, just not very experienced with dealing with other people. I just felt like they took all these different attributes of Knuckles and put them together into this highly entertaining character who I think is going to be so fun to watch in his own series now.
Absolutely. And it looks like they're not sparing any expense. It looks just as good as it did in the movies. So yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in on this. The next one after Sonic is Minecraft, the movie.
Ooh.
What?
I didn't hear about that. That's news to me. I heard it here first, literally.
You did heard it here first? There you go. That's right. So yeah, Minecraft the movie, April 4th, 2025.
With Jack Black as Minecraft
Jack
Steve.
Black, yes.
What? No way.
Wait, are you serious?
That's so cool.
Are you serious? Wait, what?
Oh, yeah. No, Jack Black's going to be Steve. No, they got a great cast. It's going to have Jason Momoa, Steve Carell from The Office.
Oh, my gosh.
Kate McKinnon, she's hilarious. Like, I'm really looking forward to this. Even though I don't even play Minecraft, it makes I get motion sickness from it for some reason. But
Really? I'm so sorry.
Really?
I play Minecraft with my daughter all the time, and I played with Lisa, another panel member here. We play a bunch, but I did not know about the cast. That sounds amazing. I'm all in now. I didn't know how I felt about it. It's going to be a little weird, I'm sure, but I hope they play into the weirdness like they did with Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and this is going to be great.
How are they going to make a movie about Minecraft, though? That's what I want to know. Like, maybe they could do it as a survival, like Minecraft survival style?
Oh, how did they make a movie out of Legos?
I was going to say Lego movie. It could be very similar to that. Yeah.
All right, you got me.
That's fair. If anyone's seen Five Nights at Freddy's, supposedly it's also getting a sequel.
Now, I'm excited for that one.
It was pretty good.
I saw the first one. I liked the movie. I thought it was. I thought it was pretty well done. It took some liberties, but stayed true to the overall feeling and the vibe that the game gives, and creates kind of its own lore with it. But also has a lot of Easter eggs, and it's great. I just really took me back to that. I've never played the game, but I did watch a famous YouTuber who I won't name. I watched his playthrough, and I thought it was fantastic and funny, but I am not I can't do horror, guys. Like, as far as playing games.
Okay, that's better.
Playing games. Watching, even watching some things, it has to be very mild. And I heard Five Nights at Freddy's was pretty mild, and so I gave it a shot, and I loved it. Thought it was great.
See, I loved it until the end. For some reason, the ending, I was like, no, that didn't land.
Oh, no.
You lost me. I was totally into it until it ended. I was like, nope, gone.
that weird cupcake robot thing. Oh man, I just lost it. I thought that was hilarious. I love that guy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, that's the whole thing. You guys remember when they're start hanging out with the robots and they're all friends and they build a little fort? I'm like, yeah, because you go to Walmart and there's Five Nights at Freddy's dolls everywhere. I'm like,
yep.
They did this scene to sell those dolls. I know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, it's not too low. Killer robot.
Absolutely.
There's one I'm really looking forward to because, it's being produced by Chuck Williams, who's one of the producers of the Sonic movies, and that is Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Pac-Man.
Yeah, and Pac-Man is going to be live action, which is going to be weird. I don't know if they're just going to, get a round, bald guy with jaundice to play him, or if they're going to completely...
Well, I mean, they could do maybe partial live action, kind of like the Sonic movies. But I'm going to use that line now. Old guy with jaundice. That's great.
Go ahead.
I do wonder, because almost as popular as Pac-Man himself is Miss Pac-Man, who apparently Namco doesn't use anymore because they have to share the rights with other companies. I wonder if something as big as the movie, if they would bite the bullet and just use her, because have Pac-Man without Miss Pac-Man would be such a missed opportunity.
I completely agree with you.
No pun intended there. missed opportunity.
I totally agree.
Yes, Pac-Man opportunity.
Oh!
It's up to my self-point.
Something I do have to say, if they really are making a Beyond Good and Evil adaptation, we've talked about it here on the channel before, a long time ago. So, I wouldn't be surprised if no one has seen it. But Anthony and I discovered an actor we think has to be in it, and it is Patrick Warburton. Has to play Double H. If anyone has played the games, have you played the game, Matt?
I have not, but I do love Patrick Warburton. Ever since he did the Tick, I've loved him.
I didn't know he did it. Oh man,
That's a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I love everything that he's in, and yeah, I absolutely love him. So, yep, that needs to happen. I did see a Detective Pikachu 2 on here.
Oh wow!
Is that going to be based on the game? I wonder. It's got to be based on the game because they did have a sequel that just came out recently on the Nintendo Switch.
Spoiler alert! How are they going to do a part 2 when he's not a detective anymore? He's just a normal Pikachu.
I don't know. They did it in the game somehow. I haven't played the game, but he's talking again in the game. I don't know. Another one I'm excited for is a TV show based on the Horizon games. I love the Horizon games. I'd love to see an adaptation of that. I think it has a fantastic story, and I've been invested since the first game. So yeah, I'd love to see that. That'd be awesome. And then we also
Actually,
have, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I did hear about that, and I think they were hoping to cast the young redhead girl from Stranger Things. Do you know who I'm referring to?
Yeah,
Can't remember.
Yes, but I don't know if
Can't remember her name. Yeah, it's
I don't know. I feel about that. I don't know if I want that. Sorry. No offense.
yeah, right. No, I just remember seeing that, but that'd be interesting.
How about The Sims? They're getting a movie soon.
Are they really?
Yeah, Margot Robbie is producing it. I don't know if she's going to be starring in it too, but
I loved The Sims growing up. I played quite a bit of the first one. Didn't touch the game for a while, and then they released The Sims, I think 3 or 4 on mobile, and I ended up playing that for a little while. So I mean, Sims is great, but yeah, turning that into a movie, that's
What would that even look like? My wife
Right?
she's not a gamer, but she played Sims a lot. Sims 3 was like her jam. But yeah, there's like, what do you do in Sims?
I just remember when I played the game, I was like, Mom, you should check this game out. It's really fun. It's really cool. And she was like, why would I waste my time watching you live someone else's life when you've got your own life to live? And so that's always stuck with me. I'm like, oh man, Sims is such a wasted
See, my wife always like put some people in a room and then just built walls around them with no doors so they can't get out, and then just watch them like slowly starve to death. It's like, and then they turn to ghosts, and then they start haunting other people. And, that's just like,
Yep. Or you can put them in the pool and remove the ladder so they can't climb out when they drown.
Yep.
When they get too tired. Yeah, I was a little. It was a little mess. Yeah. Anyway,
sadist, living sadist fantasies there.
sadist fantasies. Yeah, maybe.
maybe it'll be a horror movie. Maybe it'll be like that, like
There you
some
go.
that.
Oh wow!
Like the door's gone all of a sudden, guys. Where'd the door go? Oh man,
What did you guys think of the Tetris movie? Did y'all see that?
I didn't.
I didn't, but I heard it was. So that one was more of like a.
It was almost like a not a documentary, but it was on the.
It was
Based
like
on a true story.
dramatized. It's based on a true story.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yep.
Oh, I loved it. Like I watched it like twice in one day. It was so good.
I was very curious because at first when they announced it, I was like, how? I mean, I guess we've already established that I shouldn't ask the question, how can they make this movie because Lego movie? But, at first I was thinking it was just going to be kind of like, they played Tetris. But then when they were saying, like the making of, that was a lot more interesting.
Yeah, like what I would recommend, if you guys are familiar with the Gaming Historian here on YouTube, he did a fantastic video about the history of Tetris and talks about all the controversy, all the copyrights and everything behind the game and how it came to be. And somehow they took that story and made it into a really entertaining movie. And it was just really well done.
huh? Did they stay historically accurate?
It's not completely historically accurate. They did add a couple things, like they added a car chase at the end, which of course did not happen. But still, they had like the presidents of Nintendo of America in this car chase scene. Which is hilarious.
Gotta watch it now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm wondering about the list you're looking at with these adaptations coming out. Do they list Mega Man on there?
Let me see.
What? Mega Man?
Hold on, Anthony. Yep. Don't lose your cool yet. Wait.
Are you saying that because you're hoping that's the case, or?
I'm looking at. Is it a movie? I don't know if I saw that one actually.
So here's the story with Mega Man right now. Fox had slated a live-action Mega Man movie way back in like 2017 or something. 2019, Disney buys Fox, and they threw out over 200 films that Fox had slated, one of which was Mega Man. The rumor that I've been hearing is that because of the success of the Mario movie, Disney wants to go through now with the Mega Man movie, but they're going to make it fully animated to combat the Mario movie.
Whoa.
I mean, could you imagine, like, what if it's like Pixar doing a Mega Man movie? Could you imagine that?
If they do a good job, I would be there for it.
Yeah, for real. And if it's Pixar, they're Pixar does some great stuff.
Mega Man was my original favorite game series as a kid. Mega Man 2 was my jam. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Personally, I think, you know how like these last 20 years, superheroes have like dominated the movie industry, comic adaptations?
Yep. Absolutely.
I can totally see video games becoming the next big thing for movies.
Oh, it already has.
I want it to. I'm still one of those people that's really hoping that the success of the Mario movie spins off into a Mario cinematic universe, a new MCU.
I know that is not a popular opinion among most people, but I want it to. Yep.
How about a Nintendo universe and we get a
Nintendo cinematic universe?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want it better. I want it so bad.
Maybe a Smash Bros. Movie?
I know they're going to have a Smash Bros. Movie. Except Link is live action now. So I
do it based off of Subspace Emissary.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. And because of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, we have some live action characters mixed in with cartoon characters now, and it's not weird anymore. So it's fine, Link. You can be live action still.
I feel like something even a bigger problem than the live action is that Sony, of all companies, is the one producing the Zelda movie. So we got Mario over at Universal, and we got Zelda at Sony. Like, would they really
band together?
Yeah, exactly, band together.
I was, now that you brought that up, I have to say that really raised my eyebrows when I heard that Sony was working with them. I'm like, what is going on here? These people, these two companies are fierce rivals as far as the gaming battlefield is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's Nintendo for you, building bridges, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Also, no. Giving what is probably after Mario, probably their most beloved character to a rival company to work with. That's interesting move. I'm curious to see what it produces.
How about I'm sure you guys all heard in 2022 Nintendo bought what's called Dynamo Pictures. And they
I think I remember.
Oh, I never heard about that.
Nintendo Pictures. So now Nintendo can produce their own CG animated movies. And so if I could see that as their source of, making a Pikmin movie and making a Animal Crossing movie or whatever, then they have their roster all filled up and they could cross them all over to a Smash Brothers movie if they wanted to.
That would be sick.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting to the point where I definitely want an NCU.
And you heard it here for NCU for the win. Yeah, they're all on board for that. Absolutely.
Copyright that before Nintendo does.
Get on that, Ants, right now.
Nintendo needs to pay Simple Nerdy if they try to use the idea.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, Matt, that we haven't touched on yet?
Yeah, no, I could talk about this all night, but I think we've covered a lot of good stuff tonight. I've had a really good time hanging out with you guys.
Same, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like Matt, go follow him on his YouTube channel. He's got some great content. I watched a lot of his stuff leading up to this collaboration here. And his collection is awesome. And, okay, I watched that video where he opened up, like, all those little Sonic figures. Those little...
Yeah, these ones. They're...
Yeah, those.
Well, yeah, they're like erasers or something.
Like, this one's Sonic. I was like, dang, he nailed it.
Yep. You just have to know your characters and feel them through those darn mystery bags are so frustrating.
Especially for collectors, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. If you like this content, please consider subscribing. liking, and ringing the notification bell so you're notified whenever we release another video. And until next time, guys, keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.